What is going on, everyone? Greatest Hits here. I am back with another video, and as you can see by the title of this video, I am going to be installing upper control arms, which are not here yet, but there will be today, and this torque arm with the relocation bracket. You want to keep the torque arm off the actual tail shaft of the transmission, because the more power you make on these F-body cars, specifically Firebirds or Camaros, that tail shaft will actually snap and you'll break a whole lot of other things with it too, including the stock torque arm. The stock torque arm that I have on my car right now is very flexible, and it's just not strong at all, and it's flimsy metal, and it's just crap. So this will help the car launch a lot better, for one, and improve 0 to 60, and pretty much everywhere else it will just improve. So this was around $550. The upper control arms was in the 200 range. This is adjustable. I also got this angle finder. Very, very, very important to know what your angle finder is, because that is critical to how your car launches and everything like that. Specifically, you have stock lower control arms, which I don't. I have BMR lower control arms and panhard bar. Watch that video. It's in the link in the description of this video, and the lower control arms from BMR that I installed. That was over 2 years ago. But anyhow, if you have stock lower control arms with the stock bushings and everything, you want the pinion angle to the torque arm angle to be like, what is it, 0.1. I'll show you guys a graph or whatever on here. But if you have BMR or any type of polyurethane bushing, aftermarket control arm or whatever, you want the angle finder to be at negative 2 to 3 degrees. If your car is lower, then you'll have to adjust it again. As far as drivability and everything like that, I've heard that you'll feel a little bit more vibration. Not like I'm not used to that, because, you know, I have an exhaust and then I have a cam and all this other kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't really care. But after a while, you may have to readjust these. If you're daily driving your Firebird or your Camaro and you have this set up and it happens to go out of alignment, then you're going to have to constantly readjust this over time. They gave me bolts here, and back here is a plate. You just basically lay it over this bushing, and then this sits up here like that, and basically sandwiches to this bar here on the side. So, and then you have washers and smaller bolts and longer bolts. I am going to be using my factory bolts because they didn't give me some. If they did, I probably threw it away by accident. But yeah, I'm going to go to work and install this, and I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I'm just going to give you guys kind of like a time lapse or whatever of this whole installation. So, mainly because it's very loud in the shop, and you can't really hear me, and it's just not going to be as good as a video as you would like. So, also with the relocation bracket here, there's several selections that you can put the bolts through to have the desired angle, I guess. Another thing is too, this will bolt underneath the car on the actual chassis of the vehicle instead of on the transmission, obviously. This is the drive shaft loop here. Basically, if your drive shaft breaks or shatters or snaps in half, this drive shaft loop will keep it from flying into the actual floor of the car and hitting my leg. That would be really bad, but that's what this is made for. So put the bolts through there and tighten it up. It's 20 foot-pounds for all these bolts, and it's 100 foot-pounds for the back bolts that bolt to the rear end of the car. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so it's like 5:30 and my upper control arms finally came in. Here are the bolts, here are the washers, the bushings here that bolt to the actual control arm and the spindle. You got your castle nut here and your cotter pins and stuff, bolts. The other one here, and the control arm itself. Alright guys, here's the control arms here. Here's the driver front here, and then the passenger front. Bushings here, they sit in this hole here. You just line it up, you bolt it, everything together, and you place it on there. These are a lot more stronger and could withstand a lot more abuse, especially if I'm pulling the front wheels up and, you know, I'm making a lot of horsepower, but that's in the distant future. But I'm just building my car over time. That way, when I go faster with the car, I'm not having to worry about changing out my stock suspension for aftermarket stuff. So that's kind of the idea behind all of this. So anyways, yeah, can't wait to put it on. All right, guys, so I'm actually at my friend's shop. I've never been to a shop before. Work was way too busy for me to pull my car in and do any kind of video. So I'm probably not going to be working on my car at my job anymore, just because it just kind of interferes with everything. So yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna pull the car in right now. Alright guys, we're in the shop, my buddy's shop, and we are on the driver's side, or I'm on the driver's side. I already did the passenger side already, but one of the first things you want to do is just take this cotter pin out and this castle nut off, and just pop it loose, and let this spindle down. Be careful that it doesn't hit you in the face or in the chest or anything. Next thing you want to do, if you want to, down here, take this sway bar and the sway bar link off, but I just loosened it up enough to where this sway bar actually lifted up for me to take this strut out. So that's the next thing. Make sure you take this ABS sensor off. There's a little wire back here that runs all the way up to the ABS system, and you just need to take that off. And then after that, take the strut. You can see that the strut tower bolts, take those off and you should be good. To take the strut out, just be careful, just bring it down over on this side since there's more space, and that's it. You don't have to take the brakes off if you don't want to. Okay guys, so I got the strut out and the control arm out. Want to use a 18mm wrench. You don't have to have a ratcheting wrench, but that's just what I'm using. And for this nut here, and then a 15mm socket on this bolt here. These bolts are just so mixed matched, and 15 here, 13 here, 12 here, 19 here. It's just so awkward. But anyhow, you just get those bolts and nuts out. The control arm will come out, and then you slide this new one in like so. And you may have to hammer into it a little bit to get it to slide in perfectly. And then after that, you just grease the bushings or whatever with a grease gun, and put the castle nut back on right here, and make sure that you put the right control arm on, because one side is curved and then this other side of the control arm is straight. So this is the driver's side, the other one's the passenger side with the curve on the other side. So these are the bolts here, right here. Start that over. You slide this bushing in, and then you have a nut and a bolt and a washer here. All you have to do is just slide those into those holes and tighten them down with 11mm socket and ratchet. Tighten them up as much as you can so they don't come loose, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, you got a washer here, a nut here with a locking nut, right? Mm-hmm. Locking nut here, and then another washer. I guess this is how this goes, as you can see.
Correct. Nut goes in.
Yeah. Nut always goes in, buddy. Slide that bolt in there, sir. Then that washer. Then that locking nut. Then you jam that mug in. I'm just gonna finish up here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Bring this up in here, because it is not easy at all. You gotta hold one side and install the other side. Get in there, bitch. Whew. As you guys can see, got the upper A-arm on. Everything's tightened down. Show you the other side. Got the grease in there. You see how I made a mess, but you know, I'll clean that up in a second. So yeah, I'm gonna put grease on this side, put the wheels on, and work on the torque arm. So before I do anything, I gotta take this exhaust off. It's just 16mm nuts on both sides for the speed engineering, and just slide everything out. That way I can put the cross member in here first. If you guys can see, if you guys can see, there's mounting points here and here. That's where the relocation bracket will go. Not cross member, sorry. Relocation bracket. It'll swoop over this exhaust, and then the aftermarket torque arm will sit like right in between here. So yeah, I was worried about that because I have axle dump exhaust, but I think I should be good. So let's get to it. Okay guys, I'm gonna kind of speed this video up here since the camera's about to die, but these are somewhere between 14 and 15mm bolts and nuts up here, up there, 2 right here, and 2 on the, or just 1 on the other side, sorry. And then After that, you just loosen those up and then come back here. Sorry, light. You come back here. These bolts here and nuts are 21 millimeters. You break those loose and then you get all the bolts out, bring the torque arm down. Alright, now we can put the torque arm on. Okay guys, we got the torque arm bolts in. I'm gonna adjust everything, bolt that, I'm gonna bolt this side of the torque arm up into position, and we're going to set the pinion angle, so. Okay guys, so it is actually Easter Sunday, and happy Easter to everybody. I just got back from church and everything, but anyhow, to finish up this video, since it's like a week old, first things first, one of the reasons why I did the torque arm is to make the car drive straight and accelerate harder and faster. That way the car is not sliding around like it did before with the stock torque arm. This torque arm, by the way, is phenomenal. And I can't wait to show you guys what it all looks like. I went to the track with a bunch of my car club buddies last week on Saturday. We went down to the Gulf Coast at a drag strip, and we took it to the quarter mile. And we just had a great time. Unfortunately, I don't have any outside footage of the car because it was only the three of us. The rest of them couldn't go for whatever reason. But I will go back next time because my ETs at the quarter mile track was pretty good. It was a start, but I was down on horsepower because I cut my exhaust. Now, the reason for that is because my axle dump exhaust never actually fit right when I went to put the aftermarket torque arm and the relocation bracket and the drive shaft loop. When I put all that together and I was assembling everything back together on the car, the exhaust was actually hitting the mounting point where you put the control arm at. It was hitting on the relocation bracket, and that wasn't gonna work. So what I had to do was cut the exhaust from the top side down, and the back half of the axle dump exhaust I just, you know, laid it to the side because I didn't have time to figure out how I was going to fit everything and cut everything and stuff like that. So that's what I did. I was down on horsepower, plus the car was a lot louder and it chopped a lot more. Chop, chop, chop. It was great, but I was down on power, probably about 20 wheel horsepower, and there was a lot of back pressure. I mean, it was insane. Like, bro, driving 3 hours to the Gulf Coast in an exhaust that has no muffler, that's basically running on straight header, is insane. It's so much vibration. So, never doing that again. If I have an issue with the car, with fitment and everything like that, I'm just going to let it sit until I figure it out and go to the event next time. But it was a great time. I'm speaking of both videos because after this video, I'm going to show y'all the next video of me going to the track and what did I do at the track. Now, I'll tell you what, I got the exhaust back on. I had to go to a muffler shop, get some steel exhaust. They had to cut it and measure it and tilt it to such a way to where it's not hitting the actual relocation bracket on it at all. It's just gonna have to do for now. So other than that, I got my horsepower back, my torque back as well. And when I go back to the track, I know I'm going to be running somewhere. I know the car is going to probably shave off almost 0.2 of a second. I just know it. I just know it. The launch was pretty slow. But anyways, I'll see you all at the next one. The next video should be up in the next couple days, hopefully. And that's that. If y'all like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll holler at you all at the next one.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we. Know that they ride or die.